This podcast is brought to you by Knowledge at Wharton. For more information, please visit knowledge.wharton.upenn.edu.
From time to time, we've come across interesting stories, and there seemingly is more of them now these days, of people that follow one career path coming out of college and then at some point have that aha moment and they shift in their career. Jennifer Wright-Laracy follows in that pattern. She is now the co-founder of a company called GreenBox. She was somebody that worked in the investment business for about a decade. What is GreenBox? Well, it is a company that produces pizza boxes. They are eco-friendly and they are also multifaceted. To kind of find out more about that, we welcome in Jennifer right now to the show. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi there.
Hi, great
Thank you.
Yeah, great to have you on the show. So let's start with the early part of the career. I guess you went to Columbia, I guess, and you took the traditional path and were working in investment firms coming out of college?
I did, yes. I took a commerce degree at university, and then I took an MBA at Columbia University. And I naturally had a plan to stay in finance for my entire career. I started with Citibank and then went to another large Canadian bank called Royal Bank of Canada. Mm-hmm. And around 2008, when the financial crisis hit, I decided to make some decisions about what would be best for my future.
And seemingly a lot of people have that moment in time as one of those transition moments. What was it like for you at that point, obviously having worked in the investment firm business with all of the uproar that was happening involving Wall Street and the big banks?
Yeah, it was an interesting time because I think a lot of people in finance really had to evaluate whether it was going to be a long-term path for them, and that's something that I don't think many people considered up until then. And even when I went back and did my MBA at Columbia, I still wasn't certain that I wanted to make any changes beyond finance. I thought maybe I would just realign myself into a different area of finance. But when I was there, I was opened up to a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities, and I started to think literally outside the box at that point in time.
So, and what was it that made you want to start a company that developed a different kind of pizza box?
Well, I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit in me, and I also have had an interest in sustainability issues. Okay. So when my friend Will Walsh, who developed the design for a new pizza box, came to me, it appealed right away. And I started very informally. I started entering the product into business competitions and showing it to mentors at Columbia University and seeking advice from anyone at Columbia who would listen, and then we actually ended up getting some seed funding from Columbia, which was the moment where we thought to ourselves, we actually have a viable idea here that actually could be turned into a company. So that's when we made the decision to move forward.
And I mentioned the eco part of it. We'll get into that more in a second, but the box itself is kind of interesting as well. Because it literally becomes multifunctional in how you can use it.
Exactly. So it is a standard pizza box blank, but it has perforations and scores that create the functionality. So the top of the box is perforated, and it tears off and turns into 4 separate plates, which eliminates the need for washing dishes, and it eliminates the need for additional disposable plates. And then the bottom of the box folds into a very handy storage container for leftovers. And that storage container can be fit easily in the fridge, but it can also be fit very neatly into a waste bin or recycle bin as well.
The interesting thing about it is, as you tell that story, and as I read the story online before, this is one of those moments where a lot of people are probably going to themselves, "How come I didn't think of that?" Right? Have you heard that from a lot of people?
Yeah, we do, because I think most people in college, especially when they never have clean plates or don't have plates, or if you're in a hotel room and you don't have plates, it's kind of a natural thing to just tear off the top of the box and fashion it into plates anyway, just by ripping it. So it's one of those things that Will decided to sort of formalize and patent. And we have a lot of people wondering why they didn't do that before us.
Well, and from what I understand, I guess one of the important moments for you guys involves social media and a gentleman that probably a lot of people will know his name, Ashton Kutcher.
Yes.
And
that's right.
And he basically tweeted something that in approval of your box, correct?
Correct. And we were just new to Twitter. We'd just done the demo video for the product, and one day I just decided to shoot it out to him as a tweet and a link to the video, and he responded with one word. He just wrote "smart" and included the link, and that night we had thousands and thousands and thousands of hits. And from there, it was picked up by every social media site out there, Reddit and Dig and everything else. And as of today, we have over 6 million views on that video.
Did you ever have any further contact with him, as potentially to be an investor or interest in the company as well?
No, we've actually been informed that one of the stations that we work with discussed it with him, and he noted how much he liked the product, but we haven't had any contact with him since. He's a little hard to get a hold of. But.
Sure, yeah. Unless he's playing a prank on you, then it's probably easy.
Yeah, exactly. But we definitely appreciated the endorsement, and he really set us on our way, because being able to show investors the interest level in the product gave it immediate credibility. So that was a huge start for us.
So now you and your partners have been doing this now for about 7 years, I guess now, and it has literally spread. I'm not sure how many boxes you guys do on I don't know what the gauge would be, monthly or annual basis, but from what I read, you've got quite a few partners, or I should say clients, that are using these boxes right now.
Yeah. We actually make the box ourselves, and we license it. So it's hard to put a number on it, but we've literally sold millions of pizza boxes through our partners and directly. And we're partnering with a lot of big companies now. We're partnering with hundreds of chain and independent pizza restaurants around the country that we're selling to through distributors like Cisco and U.S. Foods, and one of our biggest, which is Performance Food Group. And we're selling to grocery stores and convenience stores like Quick Trip and Cumberland Farms and Whole Foods, restaurants like at hotels and resorts like Great Wolf Lodge, Cosmopolitan Hotel, the Hyatt. So we've got a nice list of customers at this point.
And you're apparently working with some colleges as well?
Yes, we're really excited about that, because it's just such an amazingly natural fit to college students. It's great for tailgating. It's great for dorm rooms where they typically don't have plates. So the University of Georgia is a customer, the University of Wisconsin, Brown University, Johnson & Wales, and the list goes on. And we're actually recently a new member of NACUPS, which is a large organization for dining services. So I think we expect that list to grow from here. Jennifer
Wright-Laracy is the co-founder of GreenBox. She joins us here on Knowledge at Wharton here on SiriusXM 111, business radio powered by the Wharton School. You guys you brought this idea even to Shark Tank as well, correct?
We did.
And how did it go?
It was a very terrifying and exciting experience. we had a great experience though. It was we received 2 offers, one from Kevin O'Leary and the other a joint offer from Robert and Lori.
Yeah.
And that we were thrilled about, to get some kudos from more than one investor. We eventually accepted the offer from Kevin O'Leary,
right.
And I can't say anything. He's just such a great guy, very open. He handed us his cell phone immediately, and he's been very responsive to any questions we've had.
It is kind of interesting that, and we've talked with a variety of different entrepreneurs on this show over the years about how this kind of entrepreneurial spirit, especially in the last, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 years, has really exploded across the United States. We see it here at the University of Pennsylvania, obviously with you up in New York and Columbia and all the different business schools. There are so many of these ideas out there. Then you throw on top of it something like Shark Tank, and then obviously there have been now a wide range of other shows that have kind of played off of Shark Tank. I mean, for an entrepreneur, you have a wide range of opportunities to kind of get your name out and get your idea out as well right now.
Definitely. I think it's nice to see, because shows like Shark Tank and entrepreneurial programs like the one at Columbia and so many other schools actually make people realize there is an option beyond the big banks or marketing at a large company. It makes people realize that it is achievable, and you don't have to be rich to start your own company.
Now, the eco part of it, as you said, that was a very important piece to you to make sure that these pizza boxes were eco-friendly. How did that really come about in terms of the building process of starting to design these boxes?
It was actually, we sort of lucked out. We started working on the product in New York City. And at the time, a new plant had been approved in Staten Island for that makes only 100% recycled material. Mm-hmm. And so, as a fairly new plant, we were able to get in there and find space on the machines, time on the machines, to actually start making our product. And we also, in Pratt Industries, who is one of our major manufacturing partners, found a very supportive partner who worked with us when we were, very, very green.
Right. And so now you are, I guess, are you producing these in a variety of different locations across the USA?
Yep, we are. We think we have over 12 locations around the U.S. where we're producing not only the GreenBox, but we've actually started producing extension products beyond the GreenBox, other forms of food packaging, wrap sleeves, pizza slice boxes, and that sort of thing. So we're also producing that around the country, and we're licensing the product in countries abroad. So right. You can find the GreenBox in local markets in Central America and in Australia and various other countries.
It has to be incredible for you, thinking back on where you were a decade ago and where you are now. And obviously, I don't know if Pizza Box was the first thing that came into your mind when you were starting to rethink your career. But I mean, it's just that journey from 2007, 2008 to now. What are the biggest remembrances you have of how this process has gone?
Well, I guess what I would say is it definitely wasn't, it wasn't what I had anticipated, but I'm so thankful that that my career turned in this direction. Yeah. It's amazing to have the opportunity to work for yourself and answer to yourself, and it's amazing to be part of a product that is tangible and that is environmentally friendly as well. So I'm really happy about that, and it's just it's something new every day, which I love. It's creative, yet I can apply a lot of the skills I learned in finance and from my MBA every single day.
Now, did I read, unfortunately, that I guess one of your partners passed away a few years ago?
He did. He passed away in 2011, which was quite a hurdle for us. But luckily, we have been able to keep on with his dream, and we've done nothing but build the company since and make it a reality for him and for us.
You mentioned that you're doing other types of boxes and packaging as well. Is the plan to continue to look for new ways to be able to use this kind of eco-friendly mode in looking for ways to enhance the food industry or maybe even other sectors as well?
Definitely. We're starting with food packaging because that's what our distribution network is based on, but we've certainly had many inquiries beyond the food packaging industry, and what we're really looking to do is take packaging that is outmoded or outdated and put a new spin on it and create something more functional or more eco-friendly.
There's a great quote in one of the articles that was done about you, and I'll read it now and let you just kind of add on to it. You say, "I saw so many people who started with nothing and became successful. That in itself was motivation."
Right.
I mean, I guess when you see that firsthand, it just kind of opens the door and starts the mind thinking about, oh, yeah, I can absolutely do this.
Yes, and that's why I think shows like Shark Tank and these programs at various universities across the country are so important, because it is so inspiring to see people just like you starting companies from scratch and actually succeeding.
What are the kind of the key things that, as you look back on it, you would pass on to a young entrepreneur that has an idea for whatever that might be? What are some of the things that you think are important that you've learned from this process?
I would, first of all, tell people to be diligent, to make sure they're doing something that plays to their strengths, to listen to feedback, but don't let the naysayers get you down too much. Right. You have to be realistic about the criticism you receive and be open to it and not defensive of the comments. But you also have to realize that a lot of people just want to be naysayers and want to bring you down. So, if you believe in it, stick with it. Just don't spend your 401ks on your entire 401k on it.
Have you had approaches from other companies to buy you out in the last few years?
Yeah, we have, and we have a goal in mind for where we want to grow this company to,
right.
and we'll entertain those options when we hit that number in our minds. And in the meantime, we're having a lot of fun and really enjoying growing the business.
So it seems like with the number of boxes you're doing on an annual basis, attaining whatever that goal is in your mind and your partner's mind is a reasonable expectation in the next whatever amount of years.
Yeah, most definitely. I think we will get there, and we have a lot of high hopes for the company.
Then what do you do after that? Move on to the next one?
Yes, I think so. I think totally. I'm just going to keep my eye out for the next good idea. I love the building process, so yeah. I think I would just look out for the next big thing.
It's interesting, going back to something we said a little bit ago about Ashton Kutcher and tweeting that out. How important social media is, even to a business like yours, which is a hand-to-hand, consumer business, where the touch of the consumer is so important, yet social media, obviously only one word, played a vital role in this process.
It's really, yes, it's incredible that it is so important, because we're not a business-to-consumer company. We're a business-to-business company, yeah. Meaning that we sell to distributors who sell to restaurants, and ultimately, the consumer buys from the restaurant. So most would look at our business model and say, oh, well, social media really shouldn't be your main focus. Right. But what we found is it has a pull effect. So consumers have really pushed restaurants to use the product. Restaurants contacted distributors and find out how they can source the product, and that's how we're eventually contacted. So it really, the consumer has, I should say, it's more of a push effect. The consumer has pushed the restaurant to use our product, and that's been a great thing for us. So we continue to use social media heavily.
Is there, I'm sure there are, one or two business partners, potential partners out there, companies that you see and you would be like to, we need to be involved with X company. I'm sure you probably got a few of them out there.
Yeah, we definitely do. We have a few on our list that we would love to work with.
It's a great story, and I would also think that, and whether or not you've had other entrepreneurs approach you, but the fact that I'm sure that there are other entrepreneurs out there that see your box or see your story and they get an inspiration off of that. Have you had that experience yet?
Definitely. I stay in touch with a lot of entrepreneurs, ones that I went to school with, and I attend conferences and events, and it's very fulfilling when someone approaches you and tells you that you helped inspire them in any sort of way, in some small way. And it's the same experience for me, too. I attend events like that and stay in touch with friends because they inspire me. So I think it's a great network to be a part of.
Jennifer, thank you very much for giving us your time today. Greatly appreciate it. All the success. And hey, when we hear about that sell, we'll be interested to see what that next idea is, and we'll have you back.
Thanks so much. I appreciate the opportunity to be speaking with you.
Thank you, Jennifer. All the best. Jennifer Wright-Laracy, who, as we've mentioned, is the co-founder of a company called GreenBox, eco-friendly and pizza boxes which can be broken up into plates. How about that for an idea?
For more business news and analysis from Knowledge at Wharton, please visit knowledge.wharton.upenn.edu.